Hey guys, it's Shinadu, and this is a glass of Sprite. But for the sake of this video, especially number 2, we're gonna pretend this drink rhymes with Tequila. Here are 5 events that I would change in Houston Rockets history. Number 5, Linsanity. In the 2011-2012 NBA season, Jeremy Lin went on a run known as Linsanity. It was all over the NBA, and it made the Knicks a highly buzzed team in the media, because you know, it's the Knicks. You gotta be rough being a Knicks fan. After Linsanity in New York, he signed with the Houston Rockets for a deal of upwards of about $25 million. A lot of bread. Linsanity Part 2 was set to launch in Houston, and then it didn't happen. Like, at all. The run was a dud, a bust, a doodle flavored barbecue plate. I'm not saying he was a bad player. As a matter of fact, he's a really good player. What I would change is where and when Linsanity happened. See, the Rockets signed him to a big money deal that didn't live up, when in the first place, they could have had Linsanity for a lot cheaper. Because guess what team the Knicks got Jeremy Lin from in the first place? The Rockets. Yes, he was already signed to the Houston Rockets in 2011, but he was let go because they already had other people in his position. I think his name was Boran Gorgic, Johnny Flynn, and a guy by the name of Kyle Lowry. Yes, that Kyle Lowry. Don't get me started on Kyle Lowry, man, because it almost made the list. They also needed clear cap space so that they can sign center Samuel Dalembert. Samuel Dalembert. He only stayed for 1 season. So instead of that center, we keep Jeremy Lin, and we keep him on the bench. Hear me out. So he stays in Houston, he rides the bench all the way to postseason, and then, that's when Linsanity is born. In 2011-2012, the Rockets had a pretty solid lineup. Had guys like Kyle Lowry, Kevin Martin, Luis Scola. These were guys that were at the time not superstars, but a really solid team. And they go deep in the postseason. Surprisingly deep. How deep? They make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Kyle Lowry temporarily goes down with an injury. We put Jeremy Lin in, and Jeremy Lin lights up the Western Conference Finals, winning that series 4-1. And for the first time in a long time, the Rockets are going to the finals. Linsanity continues all the way through the NBA Finals when they beat the newly formed Big Three, Miami Heat. That's LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Yes, in a true underdog, Mighty Duck, Little Giant type of story, the Houston Rockets beat this unbeatable team of the Miami Heat. See, the thing about Linsanity is that most players couldn't stop Jeremy Lin because you had no tape on him because he never really played any games. And that's what happens in these finals. The Heat have no answer for Jeremy Lin because basically, they weren't expecting him. Nobody was. And the Rockets capitalized with the amazing 1-2 punch of Kyle Lowry, Jeremy Lin, and a great performance by their center, Marcus Camby. The Rockets win, Marcus Camby retires, and the Miami Heat rebound and come back a monstrous team the next year. Plus, according to reports from then Knicks coach, now Rockets coach, Mike D'Antoni, other players on the Knicks weren't really feeling Jeremy Lin during Linsanity. Bring him to Houston. And the Heat lost that year anyway, so all we gotta do is replace whatever team came from the West with the Rockets. Bingo bango, we in there. Hey, what team won from the West that year? You can't make that up, guys. It's my video, I'll book it how I wanna book it. The Rockets win that year. Number 4, Ron Artest. I mostly knew him from that Pacers game where those players, like comedians, gave those fans some crowd work. He was a bad boy, so it was a risk. But it was a risk that more or less seemed to pay off. The Rockets are deep in the playoffs, past the first round since I don't know how long. And they are looking to capture a title since forever. And who are they playing? Who else? The LA Lakers. Now this is a post-Shaq Lakers team, so they're still good, but not as good as they once were with Shaq. It wouldn't be easy, but I felt at that time, that Rockets team, Ron Artest, Yao Ming, and Tracy McGrady, they could have pulled that one off. But unfortunately, in a crucial game, in the last, 3 to 5 minutes of the game, Ron Artest gets ejected because he cannot stop focusing and arguing with Kobe Bryant. The Kobe Bryant. Multi-time champion Kobe Bryant. Ron, why are you mouthing off to Kobe Bryant? You ain't won no kind of rings. Focus on the game. Why am I still doing this? The way Kobe Bryant laughed at Ron Artest is legendary. I'm surprised it's not a meme. Wait, is it? But anyway, Ron Artest gets ejected from that game. The Lakers win, ultimately eliminating the Rockets from the playoffs again. And then the next year, Ron Artest joins the Lakers, joins Kobe Bryant, a guy that you swore he could not stand last season. He couldn't stand him enough to stay focused to win the game for the Rockets, but you can keep it together to go over there and play a whole season with that team you said you didn't like. And they won a ring. A part of me wanted to call shenanigans in there somewhere, like, hold on, did y'all work out some kind of deal? What? I'm glad he got a championship. I hope he's doing great. But in my timeline, we don't sign Ron Artest at all. Hey, is his name still Meta World Peace? Look at that, it is. Number 3, signing Scottie Pippen. In 1999, the Houston Rockets gave Scottie Pippen a massive deal worth about $82 million real dollars. After 11 years with Chicago, with Michael Jordan, giving his best years to Michael Jordan in Chicago for 11 years. Y'all see where I'm going, right? This was the era where the Houston Rockets were very much so about bringing in old guys. In a young man's game, no, let's not look at college prospects. Let's get old guys. Old guys that have won championships, of course, but still, old guys. Unfortunately, his run only lasted about 8 months before being traded to the Portland Trail Blazers after a very much heated and very public fallout with Charles Barkley. Oh, we'll get to him. Now, don't blame Scottie Pippen for taking that money. I mean, who wouldn't take it? I would take it. 80 million? Let me go get my bank account right now. Here's my routing number. Put it in there right now. I want all of it right now before you change your mind. But his financial frustrations were with Chicago, not Houston. So Scottie Pippen can sign an $80 million deal with, I don't know, the Timberwolves? I don't know, but just not Houston. Number 2, Charles Barkley. Hold on, where's Rakila? Okay, I'm ready. In 1996, the Houston Rockets signed Charles Barkley. Sir Charles, if you're a fan. I don't call him Sir Charles. And if you remember Charles Barkley from the Phoenix Suns, then you'd be excited. That guy was amazing. He was dominating. He was a champion in the making when he was with Phoenix. But he got here, and he got slower, he got bigger, his attitude got worse, and ultimately was the reason why Scottie Pippen ended up leaving. Well, that and he had a huge contract that the Rockets released in the game in the first place. But y'all saw that in the last one. We focusing on Charles Barkley, a guy who had already been in the league since 1984. It's 1996, and the solution that they think will get them a championship in a young man's sport in 1996 is signing somebody who has never won a championship, that's been in the league since 1984. Can I get a refill, please? Sadly, he got injured and had to retire as a Houston Rocket. So it will go down in history that he retired as a Houston Rocket. That's what I will always know him for. That and that one time they mentioned him on Jeopardy. Did y'all see that episode? Money for 300. Take $10 million and throw it in the trash. What is a Charles Barkley contract? And to my Charles Barkley fans, all 3 of you, don't be mad because I made fun of your boy. It's just jokes, okay? But let's be real. The only time Charles Barkley ever got his game back was in Space Jam. And that's because Michael Jordan helped him. So instead of signing Charles Barkley, the Rockets dedicate their time, energy, and focus to getting this new player that's in the draft class of '96. What's his name? Oh yeah, Allen Iverson. Maybe you've heard of him. He's a really good player, got drafted by Philly, had a lot of great games, great moments, but no rings. Went to Denver, same thing, no rings. But in this timeline, he joins the Rockets and he does get a ring. When does that happen? That's for another video. And at number 1, trading Hakeem Olajuwon to the Toronto Raptors. After 17 years as a Houston Rocket, Hakeem Olajuwon ended his career as a Toronto Raptor. Seeing Hakeem Olajuwon in a Raptors jersey is like seeing Michael Jordan in that Wizards jersey. It should have never happened. Can we burn that footage? Seriously, let's burn them tapes. Hakeem Olajuwon is the greatest Houston Rocket of all time. It's undisputed, no arguments. So he should have never, ever, ever gone out like that. And I know there were other factors involved with that, like playing time, money, and the fact that the Rockets were moving in a new direction. They had Cuttino Mobley, Steve Francis, and the franchise era. I get it. But in hindsight, since that was his last season anyway, let's do it different. Instead of sending him to Toronto over contract disputes, we work it out some way to keep him on for one last season. And this season will be billed as Hakeem's final run. This will make a lot of money for the Rockets, for Houston, and for Hakeem. The city of Houston would have embraced this greatly. Our hero, the greatest player in Houston Rockets history, is going out. This is his last season. I guarantee you, Rocket fans, real Rocket fans, are gonna buy the merch. They're gonna be invested, and more importantly, they're gonna buy tickets to see Hakeem one last time. This will be a very emotional time for our city as we reflect on the glory days of Hakeem Olajuwon, those back-to-back runs, his days at U of H with Phi Slama Jama. This will be a beautiful run for Hakeem Olajuwon to close out what is an amazing career. His final game has a tribute video, and he will ironically score 34 points in his last game. And that is how Hakeem Olajuwon should have retired, in Houston, not in Toronto. And guys, remember y'all, this is pre-Drake Toronto, okay? It was rough out there. He deserves this send-off because he's a great player, great Houston figure, and more importantly, he's my uncle. That's right, guys. Isn't it right, Uncle Hakeem? I'm not your uncle. Uncle Hakeem, you so crazy. And those are 5 things I would change in Houston Rockets history. Let me know what you thought of the video. Did you like it? What things would you do? What events would you change? And don't worry, guys, I have videos about Rudy T and other Rockets events coming down the pipe. So don't worry about that, okay? Please hit the like button, hit the share button, leave comments. Please follow me on all my platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, okay? And more importantly, again, share this video, drop comments, hit that like button. I'm saying it twice because it's important. Do all that stuff, okay? I'll see you guys later. In the meantime, me and my uncle can get something to eat. And Uncle Hakeem, what you want to eat? I just called security. You need to leave.
This thing too, everything in the 90s was better than what it is now, in my opinion. The dance moves. When I was a kid, dancing in the 90s, easy. Could do all the dance moves. I had everything on lock. Butterfly. You do one at a time? Could do all that. Bankhead bounce. And if you did this, that was live. You was getting the girls with that dance move. I loved it. Butterfly, I'm in. Bankhead bounce, I'm in. But when I seen this dance, I'm out. I'm out.